Hello everybody, welcome back to Start a Small Garden. This is Madonna. For today's video, I'm going to show you 10 easy vegetables to grow in a small garden. So let's get started. For the first one is tomato. Tomato is a must for every gardener because they are so lovely to grow and it's very easy. And if you don't have a big space or a large garden for planting large size tomatoes, you can start or plant them in pots or small raised bed gardens. I have experimented with tomatoes in planting in trash bags, pots, and my no-dig raised bed gardens, and they grow so fast. And so far I have like cherry tomatoes, tiny tim, and dwarf bush tomatoes, and it really works well with small space vegetable gardens. So just add some support or small trellis to help the plant stand in strong winds or harsh weather. Tomatoes are one of the fast growing vegetables. Just give them enough growing space and fertilizer once or twice a week. I recommend to have a fertilizer that is rich in potassium. So with potassium, it will give you plenty to harvest. So let's go now to the next one, which is peppers. Pepper is one of my favorite vegetables in the garden because they are very low in maintenance. You just give them lots of sun and consistent soil moisture that you can grow them in balcony, patio, in pots, in bags, in your backyard or a front yard. It can definitely thrive in small areas in your garden, and since they are self-fertile, you don't have to rely about pollinators or bees around, so they are really pretty easy. You need to just stake some support because they are really sensitive to winds, strong winds especially. So this is a great summer vegetables that you can try to plant in your garden. Peppers love consistent soil moisture, so for this summer you can water it twice if you need to. So let's go now to the number 3, which is turnips. Yes, turnips are one of the amazing vegetables that you can plant in your garden because not only that you can eat the root crop, but also you can save the top leaves, yes, the turnip greens. So it is one of the fastest growing vegetables that you can harvest early in spring or before summer hits. So the beauty about turnips is that you can interplant this crop in with a vegetable that has a long growing seasons like squash and other vegetables. Actually, I intercrop it in the raised bed gardens to my greens that I wanted to protect because they do protect other leafy vegetables like Swiss chards and kales, and the pest doesn't bother them so much, or if they do, for example, if the caterpillar likes to eat them, it really grows back very nice the leaves again. So this is a must for every gardener because you can forget about using pesticide itself. So it does repels pests and insects, and it's really kind of like a win-win for any beginner gardeners that has a small space. So just give them plenty of water and sunshine. Actually, during summer I do plant them in a shaded area of the garden, so I still have lots to harvest throughout the seasons. So let's go now to the number 4, which is potato. Potato is another great crop or vegetable that you can plant in tight space. Just plant them even in cardboard boxes. They are really space saver because they are very affordable to plant. You can plant them in sack, in fabric pots, container pots. So you don't even have to have a garden just to plant potatoes, right? Plant need the same fertilizers like tomato plants, so just give them support as they tend to bend down. If they reach maturity, they kind of like sensitive to wind, so you can support them with some bamboo or stake them. So it can be very rewarding to plant potatoes because it is easy, it is kid friendly, and especially when it's harvest time. Number 5 is peas. Peas are perfect for any beginner gardener as it doesn't require a whole raised bed garden. So you can plant them with nitrogen fixing plants so that you can plant it on your balcony, or some people like planting peas in pots or even plant them indoors. So that's something it doesn't have to require a big space, and I highly recommend to sow them directly because before I tried to soak them in water and they kind of rot. So sow them directly in early spring as they are really a cool crop, cool vegetable. So I tried before, and you can eat it raw, throw them in salad, saute them, whatever you want to cook it with. It is a really very fresh and rewarding as well. So the next one is a kale. That's for number 6. So kale is a beautiful ornamental vegetable that people like to plant it just to look at, but really this is really very healthy one. So kale is one of the best or fastest growing vegetables that you can plant into your pots or containers. I like to plant them with beans just because beans fix the nitrogen in the soil, so it kind of benefit the kale too, as well as other greens or green leafy vegetables. And so because they are fast growing, you can harvest them as a cut and come again, so you don't have to harvest the whole plant. You just cut one leaf at a time. It depends on how much you're gonna eat for that particular day, and then the leaves will going to grow back again. So kale is really very healthy. Have you tried planting kale before? And I highly recommend it, really. So for our number 7, which is lettuce. So just like kale, lettuce is very easy to grow, but they love cooler climate. During the summertime, I do plant them in shade along with kale and turnip, and it can really provide you food all year round. And you can even plant them indoors too, so just imagine that. So I tried planting lettuce or mixed salad greens in cardboard boxes, containers, or even raised beds. So just give them enough water and sunlight. For lettuce, you can really sometimes overcrowd them, but not too much. Just give them also enough time to or space to grow, so they don't need so much nitrogen fertilizer. Just give them sunlight and enough water. And for fertilizers, I use compost, and they will grow happily. So for number 8 is eggplant. So eggplant is a sunshine and water loving vegetable plant, and this is really great for and any beginner gardener because it is also very productive. And I have experience with planting black beauty eggplant. This is one of my favorite because it's real. I have not had any problem with so much pest or disease. I have not used any pesticide. I just let it grow and one of it trash bag just to have an experiment, and it kind of flourished well. Just put them in an area that receives well sunlight, and I water it twice a day. It really loves a lot of water. So for number 9 is cucumbers. The cucumbers is one of the fastest growing vegetables that you can grow along with your salad garden. It is very easy to grow. The same with the eggplant. They love sunshine and lots of water to thrive. You can plant them in pots, containers, and give them some trellis or support. The one that I have is a cucumber space monster. I plant them in the very corner of my vegetable garden, and it is really very easy to grow, and if you have very small space, cucumber space master is a really very good variety of cucumber that doesn't need any large trellising or large space in order for you to harvest a vegetable this season. So for the last one so far is squash or zucchinis. You may disagree that squash or zucchini is a big vegetable plant that needs a lot of space. They look big, but if you are wise, you can plant them in pots, containers. I even tried them in my small raised bed garden. And the one thing I like about a zucchini is they are so very productive, as you want to make sure that you planted not so many, just enough for your family, because they all, yes, every day you will harvest them. So there you go, guys. These are the 10 easy vegetables to grow in a small garden. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching, and see you again in the next video. Bye. Happy gardening.